What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Wait Where We Talk About podcast, episode 80. My name is Bret, aka Enigma 9011, and I'm looking forward to talking with you guys today, or talking to you, with you. Let's go with you about some wide variety of topics today. If you guys ever want to catch the podcast live, you can go over to twitch.tv/Enigma9011 every first and third, actually every other Saturday, not first and third anymore, every other Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern. You can join in the chat, join on the conversation. We'd love to have you. If you guys can't catch it live, you can always catch it over on YouTube and SoundCloud the following week as it's posted topic by topic and as one big video and MP3 the following Friday. Last but not least, remember, merch store. You can get all of your swag over there, t-shirts, cups, backpacks, and more. Blah, 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 blah. Man, rough intro today. Represent the brand. Rep it. Help us out. It would be greatly appreciated. So yes, flying solo once again, doing 10 out of 10 job with the words. But hopefully it smooths out from here on out. So like I said, variety of topics today. I'm going to jump right on into it. I want to talk about the new hockey season. Started this week. Just wanted to touch on it quickly. The general overview of the changes that are happening this year, and then talk a little about those Avalanche boys. So yeah, it started Wednesday. It was the start of the season. They're doing a shortened season, doing 56 games. They got different divisions. I believe there's four divisions now. Excuse me, 3 for the United States, 1 for Canada. So trying to limit the spread, or the exposure, maybe I should say that, of the virus. And yeah, they are jam-packing this schedule. Jeez, okay, so 56 games in their divisions. So I believe there are 5 teams per division. So they're playing each other team at least 10 times. It's nuts. As of Wednesday when it dropped, Avalanche have played twice, and they've played the same team Wednesday and Friday. It was interesting. That means overall with this quicker schedule, it means less time to rest, less time to practice. Obviously, travel is not as big of a thing, so maybe the resting portion will be better. It's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out. My concerns with the shorter schedule, obviously, injuries. I mean, injuries happen all the time in sports, but I'm concerned with how quick and compact the schedule is going to be, how it's going to affect the players with less rest time, less practice time. Like, how are they going to be able to deal with said things? And obviously, if they get an injury, it's probably going to be a bigger impact because you're not going to have that rest or that break in between to come back for the next game maybe, or come back 2 or 3 games down the road. It might be bigger, not necessarily a bigger absence in time because it's still all the same, but it's more relative because obviously the games are quicker in succession, I guess, if that makes sense. So it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out for the health of the players. Practice wise, I mean, hopefully they've been doing their camps and stuff off season, so hopefully that doesn't take too much of an effect. I think the only effect it could be, or a factor it could be, is just like adjusting your game plan, especially with them matching up against these teams so many times in rapid succession. Like if you don't do well in a certain game, or maybe a certain aspect is just lacking, just kind of like picking up the slack and the pieces you need to, and maybe adjusting your game plan. I don't know if that will be as efficient, maybe, with the less practice time. Also, with them potentially similar to Avalanche playing the same team within a 3-day span, like you don't have the length of time necessary to get things down. Like if you needed to defend differently and wanted to try a different style, like you don't have that big gap in between. Okay, we played them today and we don't play them for another month and a half or something, or however it works. It's a very quick turnaround that they all have to do for these games. So it's going to be an interesting season overall. I mean, exciting in the fact of like the amount of games we're going to see. I mean, from a fan perspective, at least, like obviously there's going to be action quite often. Won't be as big of gaps in the week for us on there. But yeah, I don't know. Another thing, small change, presentation change, I guess, that they're doing is they're tracking different stats now. So they're tracking how fast they hit the puck into the net, and they're tracking, I think it was skate distance, so distance skated per game. I'm not sure exactly how they're going to track that one, but interesting. Something for the fans, I guess, to change up and mix up. Only the teams are traveling, along with the coaching staff, obviously, announcers, all that stuff are not. They're staying put, so they'll be doing digital online, like, broadcasting from their respective stadiums. So they're trying to really limit as much as they can and play it safe with what they're doing. So that's good. Obviously, they couldn't do an entire season in a bubble. That would have been interesting. Like, we talked about it, I think last time we talked about it on the podcast. I think we kind of talked about our thoughts and ideas of how maybe to do that. Or maybe it was just a stream. I don't remember. But it would have been obviously real tough because you're just telling everybody, okay, move over here, stay away from families and lives and all of that for however long just to play hockey, which, I mean, they're getting paid for it, so there's that. But it would have been very tough and a big ask. So I think it's smart, the adjustments of, like I said, the divisions and how they're planning on doing it. I don't know. I'm curious why they felt the need to compress the schedule too. Maybe just to try and limit, once again, the exposure, or I don't know. Maybe I'd have to ask my hockey expert, but she's busy. Oh, wait, maybe not. When do they normally start the hockey season?
October?
It is October. Okay, so they are starting way later than normal.
They're starting way later.
Okay, so that explains the compressed. I don't know. Maybe like like I said, once again, going back to the rapid succession of games, like if they felt they needed to, because they're starting so late, obviously you need numbers, so you could just do a shorter season altogether. I don't know. Maybe, I don't, like, there's always some way they can math it out. Obviously with standings, like these teams go on, these teams don't. Like, I don't know. I just hope it doesn't bite them in the ass with the rapid succession of games and the amount in a short period of time. And I guess obviously they started late. One, because, I mean, last season ended late with the whole COVID and pushing it back. So maybe they're just trying to give everybody a respective amount of time to obviously do their camps, but to rest up and recoup. So it was either that or scheduling that they pushed it back so far. So we'll see. I assume next season, as long as everything's back in normalcy, hopefully, things will go back, divisions will go back, etc. We'll have the 82 games or whatever they play and spread it out. But we'll see. If not, at least they have this method or this schedule to go off of next year. And obviously, similar to anything, they can kind of tweak it. This worked well, this didn't work well. Maybe they add more games, or ever they start earlier but still do the same amount of games to kind of give more gap in between. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out and how the players enjoy it. So moving on to the Avalanche. The Colorado Avalanche had a couple of moves. I think we had 2 or 3 players leave. We got 2 big acquisitions. One guy from the Islanders, and I don't know where the other one came from. But they seem like they fit and gel pretty well based on the 2 games that I did. Well, I watched one game and got updates on the other one. But from what I've seen, it seems like they gel pretty well into the existing group. So that's good. It's not no growing pains from what I can tell. My boy Grubauer's back, so that's good. I was a little nervous about that. Hadn't heard his name in the offseason at all. So I was like, ooh, did we let him go? What happened? But no, we kept them. We kept McKinnon. We kept McCarr. Kept Landeskog. Kept a good core group. I think we only Burakovsky's still there. I can't remember who we lost. Might be I don't know, but he's on. There was a team that also played Wednesday. I think it was Chicago. Yeah, that team unfortunately was not doing well. I think Tampa Bay crushed them. But yeah, the game on Wednesday, everything looked good. Unfortunately, they lost. We only scored 1 goal. And then Friday, they absolutely dominated. It was like 8-0 for a shutout. So that was insane. Getting the messages from Kate every time they scored. Like, please stop. They're already dead. So yeah, I mean, obviously it's only 2 games in. It's going to be hard to kind of hard to tell where the team places right now. Obviously, we've had good games in the past, and absolute terrible ones. So my big hope for the Avalanche is, like, obviously Friday was a good game. Hopefully it wasn't just a flash in the pan. You know, they've had games like that where it's like, oh, they do really great in the playoffs for this one game, and then all of a sudden, like, it's just the total opposite of the coin, and they just stink, and it's terrible, and you hate it, but we'll see. Team's 2-0 last year. Last year was bad. Nice. What team are you cheering for there, Hard FX? But yeah, right now we're 1-1 with Avalanche. I don't know when the next game is. I'm assuming maybe Monday, but it'll be interesting to see how the rest of the season plays out. I know they were flying out to California to face a couple of those teams, so hopefully being away doesn't affect them too much. Caps, okay, cool. But yeah, we'll see. Like I said, it's a lot of different changes, especially with the time. So it's interesting. Once again, my biggest fear is just everybody's gonna get hurt or something's gonna happen and whatever. But that's all we can hope for is everybody stays happy and healthy. We took a big shot Wednesday, just right in the first period. One of our new guys, he's fine, but the other guy, like, because it was such a malicious hit, he's got suspended for 2 games. So idiot. Hopefully everybody stays okay. Because yeah, obviously, you know, you want your best players out there, and that's the same for the opponent too. Like, I don't know, I'd rather watch an entertaining game than just like, oh, we swept the floor, you know, kind of thing. So we'll see. But yeah, I just wanted to give my quick thoughts on this season's hockey, and just excited to watch more. Excited to be back in the swing of things. Like I said, I think it's smart with what they're doing with the divisions and with the staying in areas to, you know, kind of get those games out of the way instead of obviously traveling left, right, center all the time and going wherever. Playoffs are going to be interesting too. I think it's top 2 teams from each division and then going from there. Still sounds like they're still doing the 7 games, so I assume they'll rebubble once they get to playoff time, and go from there. Because I mean, last season worked so well. I don't think they had any issues compared to other sports and how they were dealing with it. So I have faith that NHL will be fine or handle it fine once it comes to that time, if they need to rebubble once it gets out there. Sports music game keeping me sane right now. Rona ain't it? Yeah, that's for a lot of people. You know, you need those escapes. I mean, obviously a lot of sports have come back, but that was a big thing with me in wrestling. Wrestling kept on. Wrestling was an escape. Obviously content creation, like watching people's streams and whatnot, that was an escape. So it's good that we're seeing more of that with either hockey, like we're talking now, or basketball or football. Like, my main thing, as long as everybody's staying safe, which I know we've had a couple of things that are like, maybe not, then cool. Glad they can do that. Hopefully, you know, with the vaccine and all that stuff, we can keep moving in a positive direction, but also it's going to be a while. It's going to take some time to get back to quote unquote normal. So we'll see. So yeah, just quick thoughts on the hockey season.